Well, good afternoon, everyone. Brilliant to have so many of you with us today, and thanks for joining. I think we've got some old friends and some new friends today, so I'll just do a quick intro to our team at Invest NI. First and foremost, we've got Jen and Rosemary, who are our most glamorous logistics ladies, and Jen also looks after business development for ROI. Shauna is ably assisting on PR and marketing, and Drew, who looks after ROI and also does business development in the GB market. Great to have you all with us. We've got some amazing suppliers today. I think lots of the boxes arrived just in time, but intact, and I hope you'll find some inspiration in there. There's a leaflet in your box with all the supplier details. If you need any other supplier information that's not there, please do drop us a note and we can put you in touch. I'm going to hand over to Paula, who has helped us through all these Zoom cook-alongs. This will be our 7th one. We've found this to be a really effective way of just promoting food and drink from Northern Ireland during the lockdown. I hope you've all enjoyed a bit of fun having your box at home. We hope you'll take the products into your kitchen, cook with them, smell and taste them, and just enjoy over the weekend. If you're in England, you might not have some Andy dolls. There's none here in the southeast. Hopefully it'll come our way over the weekend. But I'll hand over to Paula for the action. Thanks, Paula.
So can you just unmute yourself, Paula, please? Thank you.
Can I just check, what was the Instagram handle again?
It's at, sorry, let me get it. It's at Picnic Pics. So hashtag Picnic Pics. The app is Love NI Food. Love NI Food, okay?
Apologies for that, Mervyn.
You're okay.
No Thank you. Thank you, Michelle, and you're all very welcome. I'm up in Portstewart in the North Coast and in Northern Ireland, so a wee bit dark outside, but anyway, it's sunny, picnicky weather in here. So I'm going to bring in.
I'm on a thing here. I could just stay on it, but
I'm going to bring in Shay from Tom and Ollie. Are you there, Shay? No. Hello. No. Is Shay there? No.
Shay, can you unmute yourself, please, just on your screen? Thank you.
Nope.
That's me now.
No, oh, very good, Shay. How are
Apologies.
you? How you doing? We're of a similar vintage there, no problem with unmuting.
Yeah.
That's okay, no problem. Shay, I have your chili, basil, and garlic hummus here.
Yeah.
And then I've got your wee spicy lily peppers as well. So I'm going to do a piadina dough. So the recipes are there, but it's really just flour, oil, baking powder, and water. And you pretty much knead that all up together for about 10 minutes. Instead of olive oil used, we have a rapeseed oil here from Limavady. It's not in your boxes, but it's we're going to use it anyway because it's local. And I'm going to add also to this is some fennel salami, also from Limavady, made with rare breed pig pork meat by Alistair Crown. So that once you just kneaded the dough, we just really pretty much roll it out quite thinly, and we're just going to make a pocket for this. So Shay, tell us about we'll go on to about the hummus first of all.
Yeah.
If you can tell us about that.
Well, it's a recipe we've created ourselves. It's pretty different than supermarket hummuses, where they would be maybe adding foam or chickpea water to sort of maybe bulk the product out. Whereas we would be mainly solely using chickpea and olive oil or sunflower oil or various oils and fresh pesto or chili to add to the product. It's quite different in that way, as I say, it's preservative free. Quite short shelf life with the product. It's only
what is the shelf life in that, Shay?
Product from at the minute, like, you know what I mean, we're sort of working on different gas flushing techniques without preservatives, like, you know what I mean, but we would be sort of telling, you know what I mean, sort of different guys that it would be about 14 days from production at the minute, like, you know what I mean? But that is without preservative. We don't
Okay.
sort of really want to go down that road, like, you know what I mean? But there's no, as I said, potato starch or, you know, it's sort of based off Lebanese style recipe, like, you know what I mean? But create it here in Northern Ireland.
So it's pretty much if you made a hummus yourself.
Yeah,
It's, yeah. The thing that's nice about it is you can see all the individual flecks of everything.
yeah,
So you can see the basil in there, you
Yeah.
can see the chili. I mean,
Yeah.
that's quite unusual, isn't it?
well, we try, you know what I mean? We're trying to use fresh ingredients, you know what I mean? Our only really sort of scary thing at this time of year, you know what I mean, and it being preservative free is, you know what I mean, heat abuse, like, you know what I mean, without the preservatives, like, you know what I mean, just doesn't agree with the product whatsoever, like, you know what I mean? So it's nearly sort of ultimately we keep it quite cold, like, you know what I mean, because you know, without preservatives and additives to the product, like, you know what I mean, it could, you know what I mean, tend to start to ferment a bit and go a bit fizzier and stuff like that there. But generally that's why we've sort of tried to keep the sort of shelf life with it without adding preservative.
Yeah, but 2 weeks is pretty good for a fresh product, I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
What other hummus is he doing? I know I love your caramelized onion one, is a really nice one as well.
Yeah, that's two products I see already on there earlier. Like, you know what I mean? We had sort of Blast Awards, which we're quite proud of for both the hummuses, the chili basil garlic and the caramelized onion. But we do a traditional hummus, caramelized onion, we do a red pepper, jalapeno hummus, a smoked tomato pesto hummus, like, you know what I mean? But it's quite, you know, the base ingredient, you know what I mean, with the traditional, and then we add, you know, different flavoring to that product, like, you know what I mean, obviously to create different flavors in it, which hummus is a product that can be played with pretty well in that flavoring process.
It's got really popular, hasn't it? I mean, it's been around for years, but just seems to really sort of skyrocketed the popularity, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose it's maybe a vegan thing as well.
Well, that's the other side of it too. Like, you know what I mean, the popularity of veganism. Like, you know what I mean, that you know, they're looking for nice flavored products that are on the market there. Like, you know what I mean. So that's obviously been a win-win as far as you know, the development of the product has grown.
Yeah. And then tell us about these, the red lily peppers, or I suppose.
Well, it was a product. I first saw them in the Winter Fancy Food Show in San Fran quite a few years ago. Like, you know what I mean. But it was a product that was developed in South America. The initial grower thought, you know what I mean, that it was a bit of a weed. So we had done a bit of development with it, pickled it, and obviously had it tested that it was safe to eat, and realized that it was a new, very niche product that can be added in many ways to Mexican cuisine, pizza toppings, salads. Like, I like it with the bitter leaf salad and maybe a wee splash of burnt balsamic and some of the lilies through it. I've actually even had it with the sweet and savory thing, you know what I mean, with a topping of ice cream, like, you know what I mean. So it's a very versatile product. You know what I mean?
I can see why that would work, Shay. Actually,
Yeah.
They're lovely. They've just given a nice wee pop, don't they? So that's
Well,
yes,
if you were using it in a pizza, like, you know what I mean, we'd recommend that, you know, you're not actually putting on a pizza that it's baking right from the start, like, you know what I mean. It would be something that you would add just at the end of the sort of baking process, like, you know what I mean, and you'll actually hear the peppers pop, you know what I mean, just sort of with the heat of the pizza sort of going through, you know what I mean. But
if you just put it onto the pizza at the end of the cooking.
Yeah.
Right, very good. So I've got this wee warm bread ready now, and I've just got the pure hummus and then just a few leaves, and I've got the salami and then some of the wee chili peppers as well. Just going to roll that up. And that's our first wee sort of picnicky dish there, Shay. But again, it's like the thing with hummus, it is so versatile, isn't it? It's just Yeah.
Well, it can be, you know what I mean? You know, you don't always have to go down the red routes, like, you know what I mean? People
No.
with, you know, more in common nowadays, like, you know what I mean, that their gluten intolerances, like, you know what I mean, it can be eaten in many diets with celery sticks, carrot sticks, you know, any raw vegetables, like, you know what I mean? So it's quite a multi-use product.
And it's nice as an accompaniment to meat as well. You know, if you
Yeah.
have like a, you know, a nice bit of char grilled lamb on a barbecue there, and a bit of hummus is lovely. You know, it's sort of
Right.
like a sauce as well as
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
There's a Shay, there's a question's come through from Cara. Actually, have you considered a sweeter version of a hummus?
Well, you know what I mean. You could obviously, you know what I mean, add different variants of flavors to you know what I mean. We did do product development at a time, and we used to use sort of St. George's Market as our sort of product development module. We would have done different flavors and variant weeks and sort of judged the success of a product basically, you know, in tasting formats in the market. So obviously you're restricted to doing that sort of thing with the current pandemic, like, you know what I mean? But any of the sweeter ones that we've done never seem to get much takeoff, like, you know what I mean? It's like the Greeks tried to do a few years ago, coating olives with chocolate and doing a choco olive, but it never really hit the ground running, like, to be fair.
Yeah, that's a step too far, isn't it, really? That's
Yeah.
I can't get my head around that at all, actually. Sorry.
Weird.
Hummus, no, I can't. Sorry. Shay, thank you so much for that. That's great.
Not at all, Paul. Thank you.
And I'll enjoy it at the weekend. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we move on to then to Crawford Ewing, please? If you could unmute yourself, Crawford. If you're there.
If you're there, Crawford, if you can unmute yourself.
No.
Nope. Let's just talk.
I will log on with. I have actually.
Tell us all about it.
Well, I'll tell you all about it. Yeah. So Ewing's has been in the Shankill Road in Belfast since 1911. They actually had a couple of fish shops in the past, but one further on up the road and just past at the top of the Shankill. But they've just got this one now. But this product here is the smoked salmon. So it's Glenarm organic smoked salmon. So it's as near to sort of wild salmon as you get. It's allowed to roam free in the sea there. And Walter's I think if Walter's Crawford's fourth generation, I think that's the way it is. So it was Walter's grandfather started the shop. The first ever interview I did of a producer on Radio Ulster, it was in 1997, and it was Walter Ewing. And I don't know which of us was more nervous. So Walter's even got his own painting now of himself. So that was back in back. So this is a salmon here now. So it's a really, really nice salmon, and it's done very, very traditionally. They haven't changed the recipe. It's just it's a dry cure. They salt it. I think it's over, or they smoke it over beach. But it's and I mean they have a great export market in this. The thing about Ewing's shop is it's still the same shop as it was in 1911. It's not. It's got the old stone and the stone presentation area. They throw the ice in. Their school kids come in every day for wee winkles, you know, to get the winkles, and I think they throw it at each other, the shells, but that's okay. That's fine. As long as they're eating the fish, that's good. So it's a very, very, you'll get a lot of locals in the fish shop. And essentially it is a family business, but the smoked salmon is consistently good. This is the thing, no matter what time of year you have the salmon, whatever, it's consistent, and it's a great salt sugar ratio. I'm going to do it with, I've got some wee stout crackers that I made. So really it's just I've got a wee bit of wholemeal flour in this, plain flour, just some oil. I used some of the rapeseed oil, some stout. So I quite like that combination of Guinness and smoked salmon. This isn't Guinness, this is Licata brewery from up on the north coast here, but any stout, we've got brilliant stouts in Britain and Ireland. So those are, and then just roll them out really thinly. All I did was brush them with a wee bit more oil and some sea salt. So that's on the top here. And then we're just going to do our sort of arrange over the smoked salmon here as well. So this is just a nice sort of thing that you would have if you're having people around, or it's really sort of let the smoked salmon be the sort of the king of this dish here. So
You talked about consistency, Paula. It is superb.
absolutely.
Sorry, I missed out. My wife and my 4-year-old managed to get to it before me, so I was devoured yesterday at lunchtime. But it's superb. The salmon.
Oh, did they? Right.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, and what it is, I think that one of the really important things about, when you are, with fish or with this, I mean, the Ewings now, it's a scientific process, but it still hasn't lost that beautiful, the heritage of salt fish and cured fish. A few wee pickled radishes here. So just a finely sliced radish and shallot. And all I did was pickle them in a solution with just a bit of sugar, the vinegar from cider vinegar, and then a bit of water, and then just season that up. So that's that there. And then all I'm going to do here, I've got some dill. I've got just a dressing to do with it. So I've got in here mayonnaise, creme fraiche, horseradish, Dijon mustard. Just give that a mix around, and I'm just going to add some dill to that, just a bit of chopped dill. You don't have to put this in. Chives is nice in this as well, but we're just going to put this in. And I think with this smoked salmon too, I know that a lot of the supermarkets have it now, but again, it hasn't. It's as I said before, it is a consistently good product, and it's yeah. I know if anybody lucky enough to have this in your pack, it's just to try it. I think the product speaks for itself. So we'll just put a nice blob of that mayo on there, just to the wee dressing.
Looks good.
Yeah, and then just another wee bit of dill there.
Well,
I was going to say that as well. That looks amazing. That looks amazing.
Love a bit of dill. What I think one of the most underused herbs, but I think it's just really tasty, isn't it? So that's Pity Crawford couldn't. I hope I've sold their story, but again, they've I don't think Walter's in the business anymore, but maybe, well, he probably is actually, but I see him now and again in Portstewart. He's sailed up from Bangor, I think. So those are wee stout crackers, and then we've got our smoked salmon, pickled radish, and then the dill dressing. So that you could have that, with a nice glass of champagne, or maybe later on you could have that with one of the seltzer that we're going to talk about. So I'll just put this over here.
Sounds good. That's great, Paula. Thank you.
There we are. And if we could, if James was there from the cookie jar, that would be brilliant. If he could unmute himself.
Hello.
Oh, brilliant.
How you doing?
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Top of the class, James. Lovely.
Press that button.
James, I've been using your products all week now, so they're fabulous. So we've got this. We've got the soda bread mix. You've also got a scone mix and a wheaten bread mix, but we're going to focus on this. And I think what I love about this is, especially if you're in England, where it's quite hard to get the buttermilk that we would use here, which is a lot thinner and uncultured. This has got the buttermilk in the mix, James. So it's just add water and a bit of oil.
It's an idea we came up with just for sheer convenience. I remember being a student myself and over in Edinburgh, I fancied making some soda bread, and just the hassle of trying to find some buttermilk, and so I thought we'd incorporate buttermilk powder into the mix. So the hassle's taken out for you. You just have to add the water, and you're making your own buttermilk essentially. And just it's so convenient to take it out of the cupboard, add a couple of ingredients. It can be a very simple bread, or it could be a complicated bread. It's very versatile, as I'm sure you're going to show us now.
Yeah, well, the first thing we're going to do is, and this is to go with the Ballylisk that it's going to come on later, just to have it with some cheese. I just fried off some sage and a bit of butter and oil. So I'm just going to put that into the middle. This is actually half a pack. And then I've got some walnuts, just finely chopped up walnuts. So I'll throw a few of those in.
Yes, you can get quite a lot of bread out of the one bag. You can make 2 loaves out of it very easily.
I think one mix actually, James, seems it quite a lot. So yeah, so
That was
it's
maybe
it's a
ambitious.
it's good value, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it does make, if you have a big enough tin, it makes a lovely oven soda. Or you can get about 8 soda farls out of it. But-
Really, yeah. So that would be just on the griddle then if you're doing the soda fars.
or you can add things to it and make a pizza. It makes a fantastic soft pizza base.
Well,
Um,
Funny, I have my godchildren round the other night, and you know the way when you have children, what round you want to keep them busy. So I got them to make wee mini pizzas with this. It was absolutely fantastic, really lovely fluffy pizzas. So that's great for that, James. It's a very, very, the product has got lots of uses, hasn't it?
It's handy. It's exactly the same there. From the bottom, it's the same as we use in the bakery, you know. So it's my great granny's recipe, and apart from the buttermilk powder, but it's all exactly the same. Nothing's changed.
It's just so, and I think when you have something like that, when you have something like your granny's recipe, and it's going to work, don't you? So I'm going to just that's the mix there for the. So I'm just going to kind of make this into like a kind of a spaghetti kind of shape. I'm going to just put that onto the, and then that just goes into the oven. So it's really, really simple. The thing about it is too, James, you don't have to weigh anything. It's all
done, and
it's all there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do something with I know that everybody should have the Burren Balsamics roast onion jam in their box. So I've just got in here again the other half of the mix. And I'm just going to add some in here for scallions or spring onions and fresh thyme. So they go in, give that a bit of a mix, some water, and it's seasoned and everything, James.
yeah, it is just ready. It's just ready to go.
And you can pretty much add whatever you want to this. You can make it your own. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We were making tear and share bread, quite nice, with some like goat's cheese and some dried tomatoes and maybe some garlic, through it. And if you sort of make the dough, cut it up and oil it slightly, it'll just tear apart.
Yeah.
And or pizza base, as I said before, or we made some with courgettes in it. There's so many.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand the concept of sharing, but I take your point. Yeah.
Yeah, tear and share. Yeah, exactly, Marvin. You have to. Especially when you're saying that about the goat's cheese and everything, that would be quite hard. That we're just going to do. I'm just going to pat this out a wee bit into kind of a semi-rectangle there. Just give my hands a wee quick wash.
Question as well for James. James from Nikki's asked a question that says we're regularly asked for vegan products in this sector. Would you have any plans to introduce without the buttermilk, or is that your USP?
Well, I suppose we could do. They could just essentially take it out, and then the customer and them just have to add oat milk or something like that.
Okay, their own choice. Yeah.
We looked at. I'll go and take a note of that actually.
Okay, there you go, Nikki. Hope that answers your question.
So that's the Burren Balsamics onion jam, which is lovely, really nice with this, James, actually.
It's really
And
good.
it's a great product because it's a byproduct of their roast onion vinegar. So they vacuum pack the roast onions with the vinegar and then strain it, and then rather than throw that out, that's they use that into the jam. So it's actually a really nice jam because it's got all that flavor from the onions, and then just a really nice balance of sharp onions and then made into a jam, I guess, with the sugar. So we're just going to roll this up and do like a wee pin head. I put a wee bit of egg yolk up at the top there, and then we'll just cut this up into the wee individual scones.
That's a great idea. I like that.
Really nice.
That just goes onto a tray. Just
Yes, rolling
just,
up is a fantastic way of getting flavour and sort of keeping it tidy as well.
Yeah.
Mess in the kitchen and whatnot.
yeah, well, that's it. The thing I love about this is it's just so quick, James. It's like you could just you throw it in, put it into the bowl, quick mix of water. You're not having to run around looking for buttermilk as well, because a lot of the time you can't get buttermilk.
And it's like it's not a yeasted bread, so you don't have to wait for it to prove up or anything. It's a chemical
Nothing.
bread, and you know, it's cooking handy.
I just put a wee bit of Parmesan on top of that as well, or any kind of grated cheese, or if you had any leftover cheese.
Well, they look fantastic.
And that just that really just goes into the oven as well. But again, as you said about, you said there, James, about courgettes and things like that. If you had tomatoes in the fridge or anything left over, just chop it up. Really good way of using up leftovers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice wee weekend product too if you have a wee bit of time. But also, you can also do it midweek if you don't have a lot of time, because you don't have to weigh up anything as such.
And I think if you had some of Shay's nice pesto there too, that would work well.
Sounds like everything Shay would have to go well with it. Just
Sorry?
All them humuses and things just sound like a really nice marriage. It is really good.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So I have a few that I've made earlier here. So these are the scones that I made earlier on. They're just out of the oven for a couple of hours, but again, they're just nice, simple. You could have that with a salad. As you said, just some nice soft goat's cheese, or a nice sort of summer soup if you have nice sort of tomato roasted pepper, maybe basil soup or something like that. So
really good, lovely take on the recipe. I like that.
Yeah, but you've got lots of.
Might be stealing them.
Would you use it? Would you advise using that for anything sweet as well, James? I mean, I think you can nearly do something like that even with the soda bread mix and jam.
Yes, you could. Funny, I'm trying to think of like different ideas, because a lot of my ideas for the soda bread are savoury, but there will be ideas coming for more sweet lines. But yeah, jam will go with soda. No, that's one of my favourites.
Well, what everybody's favourite in this country, when the soda fire comes off the griddle, it's butter and jam, isn't it? That's there's nothing better, is there?
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah, James, thank you so much for that.
Much.
I'm just going to move on to another James now from Ballylisk.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
Hi there, Paula.
Hi, James. How are you?
You're making me very hungry, so you are.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, well, look, I did here's another one I made earlier. So this is the sage and walnut bread. So I'm just going to warm this up. I've actually toasted it, and I'm just going to give it a wee warm in the pan here to go with your the Ballylisk. So tell us about the Ballylisk. So this is your brie. You started off with a triple cream.
We did. Our triple cream was our flagship cheese. Obviously the brie is still made using single herd milk from a herd of grass-fed cows in County Armagh, and the milk that we pick up every morning is in our cheese mold by lunchtime, so it's made using really fresh milk. This brie took us 2.5 years to develop. We really wanted to get it right, and now we think we have. We had two or three different recipes, and they were okay, but we feel now that this sits beside our triple rose very well. As part of our range, and we've really hit the nail on the head with the recipe here, and we think it is definitely up there with some of the high quality French bries, or so have been told by customers anyway. It's also very versatile, the brie. It melts really well, it bakes really well, so it's a versatile product.
And the fact that it comes from pretty much a single herd is quite unique, isn't it?
It is, and it means we have traceability as well. The farm where we get our milk from is 4 miles down the road from our factory, and it comes in every morning. So we have traceability throughout the product as well.
Do you notice a difference then, obviously, in the milk, at different times of the year will have an effect on the cheese as well?
You definitely do. The milk, the quality of the milk makes a big difference in the cheese. Now we never change our supplier of the milk. Now we've got one that works well for us. So it's the same every day, and we have noticed that the quality of our cheese is very consistent now. So it is.
Yeah, well, that's vital, isn't it? And I know it's hard to have consistency in cheese, James. It's a wee bit like it's quite a hard thing, but you're achieving consistency.
Absolutely, and as you'll notice if you've tasted the brie, Compared to a lot of other breeze, it's broken down the full way through. It's nice and runny and melty. And that's what we strive to achieve in all of our breeze.
Yeah,
The
that
nice
whole
gooiness.
thing where it kind of collapses, James.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I've just got a bit here, and actually, I'm going to put a bit of honey in this. This honey actually comes from a friend of mine who's I think they're friends of yours, or from up the roads. This is in Guildford. Gilly Dugan's honey. So Gilly's a grower, and her husband owns Yellow Door. So it's a Armagh honey. I hope you approve of that now. So that's
absolutely. Well,
I have the choice of honeys today, so
Simon
just going to brulee this.
The development process of the brie now, so he has, and he's a big advocate for it.
Yeah. So I'm just going to brulee this. You could put this under the grill, but I like to wheel the blowtorch out on a Friday afternoon anyway, James, so it's good, for a bit of crack.
Perfect.
So it's when you grill it, it's this one, you're just sort of getting a direct heat on the surface. So it's kind of just melting ever so slightly.
Yeah.
It definitely goes really well with walnuts and honey. I baked in the oven last week and used some crushed up walnuts, honey, and put a few dates on top of it.
Lovely.
Used some Yellow Door sourdough bread to dip in it, and it was really, really nice.
You see that this brie here, it would be a good baking brie. I think that's very popular, isn't it? When people have the wee dish, and does it work well as a baker?
It does. We now sell little bakers for it, the perfect size, and it's really, really good at baking. Just put a cross on the top of it and stick it in the oven for 5 minutes, and it's really gooey and luxurious. So it is. So
you actually sell the wee dish as well now, do you?
Yeah.
Lovely. And I've just put a wee bit of apple onto that there, just a wee bit of Granny Smith, and then I've some celery, a few wee celery leaves, and so it's like a kind of a, you could have a nice lunch with that.
You could give all the textures as well. Superb.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think with the, your cheese. I know you're in Fortnum and Mason, and James, but your cheese really has, for such a young cheese, it's got a real following, hasn't it?
Absolutely. No, our brand is very established now, and I think with the brie, we're really only starting to market it as well. Obviously, our triple cream is a very, very popular cheese, but we have developed this brie and worked so hard in the recipe that we're very comfortable on it sitting beside our triple cream on the shelves.
Yeah, it's a great product now, so I'm well done. Yeah. And a lot of restaurants as well. I've noticed that, I love looking at restaurant menus. Yeah. And I know it's a lot of really high-end restaurants right across Ireland, especially. Have the Ballylisk, and I know you're in Borough Market as well with heritage cheese. So,
Wine and Brine in Moira, I've noticed they put it on their new menu now, their May menu, and Oxon Belfast as well. It's on their tasting menu quite a lot.
Yeah, I think when you get into Michelin recognized restaurants, when that sort of speaks for itself, really, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely, absolutely. Yeah. We're very, very proud for it to be on the menu in those restaurants.
You should be.
I'm
trying not to eat that now, James. But anyway, that's so. James, thank you so much.
Brilliant, thank you. Well, it looks delicious.
Thank you. That looks good now. And if Stephen's there, Stephen Chisholm from Genesis.
Hey, Paula.
Hi, Stephen. How are you, Stephen? It's been so hard for me not to open this. Now, we'll talk about. Actually, will we talk about the hot cross buns first of all? So,
yes.
Now, I've had these. Now, not this packet. But I'm not just saying this, but these are brilliant hot cross buns. They're absolutely fantastic. And even if you just look at them, I find sometimes you get a hot cross bun, I don't know if you do, and they're kind of squashed and they're kind of deflated a wee bit, but these are pretty perky, aren't they?
Yeah, we've done a lot of work on them recently, last couple of years. Hot cross buns are they're a year-round thing now. And you can see when it comes up to Easter that there's the variations in flavors are just incredible. So as well as our own brand, we do private label for a number of retailers.
Yeah.
So we're constantly trying to do new flavors with it as well. So it's, you know, they're a real buzz at the minute.
And they seem to just really, I think they're like the brioche nearly now, you know, with that popularity. With just, you see when I opened that packet there, Stephen, the smell of spice is absolutely phenomenal. It's like it's nearly take your breath away. It's beautiful. So I mean, what kind of spices? I mean, there's quite an unusual kind of blend there, really, isn't there?
Yeah, we've got a mixture of different spices in it. So there's the likes of you'll get the cinnamon certainly, and the nutmeg. We've got a little bit of ginger in there as well, amongst the others. So really good as they are, but fantastic toasted with a bit of butter. And they also actually pair well with a bit of cheese, I find.
Yeah, definitely.
A fruit sort of, pairing the fruit with bread and a bit of cheese, so it's fantastic.
It would go nicely with that basilisk, actually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. And there's a really good fruit distribution in there, Stephen. You know, just looking across that there, you know, really good. And as I said before, they just really sit really well. You know, they're like homemade, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
No, those are brilliant. Absolutely amazing.
Paula, is there versatility in those? What else could you do with a hot cross bun? Is it sort of thing
you can do everything with? I've seen them actually used in savoury dishes now. I'm sure you have too, Stephen.
Yeah.
I've seen a pastrami, you know, paired with pastrami, which I actually think might work. I'm not sure, but I didn't try it, but you know, might try it. So, you know, that sort of peppery beef might work with the spicy. And I've actually made them before with, you know, with fresh cherries in them and chocolate and things like that. But I think, you know, it's quite hard to beat that, isn't it, Stephen? That just a traditional.
It's great to have the good old classic. But yeah, I mean, it's always very interesting to see what people are doing with them.
Yeah, and then these are your afters as well. So these are. I'm just going to open these up here.
Yes, so these
Tell
are.
us about these.
Yep, those are our afters range. So Genesis, our core brand, and then afters are our line of handcrafted luxury cakes, tarts, and buns. So the ones that you have there are the ice cream sundae, which we launched when we launched the Afters brand this time last year. So these are actually one of our seasonal lines. The ice cream sort of sundae pack, and we launched that around the summer, so to give something, you know, a bit summery, a little bit to remind you of like a holiday, because I know we're all missing that right now.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's more of a nostalgic thing. Like it's like a sort of a summer in Port Stewart kind of holiday, you know, not a.
Oh yes, absolutely.
with your flake and everything.
Yeah.
A domestic holiday.
Yes, exactly. And we've got the 3 flavors there. So it's all the plain sponge with the different buttercream toppings.
Yeah, they look really nice actually, and they hold really well as well. You know, the buttercream and everything. They look really well.
Yeah, the shelf life on them is fantastic as well. So you know, they're very popular. And as well as the ice cream sundaes, we do other seasonal ones. So we've got quite a range that we do for ourselves.
You're keeping moving all the time, Stephen, which is brilliant because there's just all these. It's lovely to see seasonality brought into baking, you know, and also, you know, with all the festive as well as the festivities, you know, you have all that. But you know, it's nice to see something like this that's essentially made for summer, so it's brilliant.
Yeah,
and of course, is that your remit? You know, because I know you won Great Irish Bake Off, the first one, but I know you're very creative. So is this something you're thinking about constantly now?
It is, yeah. I mean, I've got some, you know, other ones. This is some of our, I don't know if you will see it, but Halloween concepts of mini cupcakes. So we've got a pumpkin and a cat and a slime eyeball. So it's, you know, that sort of thing. We're thinking ahead to Halloween already. Christmas is signed off. June. Yeah, I know.
And Christmas is signed off.
It is, yeah.
Oh, right, very good, Steve. Just depressed us all there, but anyway, that's okay. What's next on the agenda? What's your next idea?
We're looking at hybrid bakes. So combining two different products into one. So you all know the likes of the cronut, the
Yes.
croissant donut. We're looking at things that are within our capabilities. So I would say watch this space without giving
Right.
anything away, but we've got
I
something.
look forward to that. Yeah. Stephen, thank you so much.
No, thank you, Paula.
Thanks a million. I'll enjoy this later. Thank you. And just before we move to Bernard from Whitewater, in your box there we have the Asher's sausage rolls. We had these in one of the other ones. They're absolutely beautiful, really nice pastry, but also they've got beef in them, which is instead of the usual pork. I think they're gorgeous, lovely with some of the burr and balsamics. The burr and balsamics onion jam, and then we've got the Cobden and Brown, which are amazing chocolatiers here. These are just a wee chocolate, but you don't even need to say anything about that because the sheen in that chocolate speaks for itself. So beautifully tempered there, and gorgeous.
That was a packet.
And the packaging is beautiful as well.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. So if Bernard could unmute himself there, please.
There we go.
Hi, Bernard.
Hi, yes, folks.
How are you?
I'm grand for Friday evening. Sitting with a can on my desk. It's not open yet.
Seltzer.
Yes.
A can of hard seltzer.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bernard, I mean, you're an award-winning, multi-award-winning brewer, and your beers have won many awards, Great Taste Awards, Supreme Award, and but this is something that you've got into now, the hard seltzer. So what made you get into this?
I think a bit of travel. I came across hard seltzers about 2.5 years ago, and we've been brewing beer now. Next month, we started Whitewater in July 1996. So it's 25 years. We've been making, and it's been making beers of all sorts over the years. But the hard seltzer was something that like a lot of companies are doing, and even just listening to Stephen there, diversifying into things and hybrid things that work. So the name hard seltzer came on my radar probably about 3 years ago anyway, and we decided that Whitewater was going to get into this category of the kind of ready to drink. But we've always had a saying in our company, if there's an easy route to doing something, we don't do it, and I'll always choose the hard road. So hard seltzers really at this minute in time, or traditionally we're a brewed product, a fermented product from sugar bases of sorts. But commercially, the main brands at the moment have all been made with neutral grain spirit and flavorings and a bit of water. So that's the easy way of doing it, wheeling your alcohol in the morning and having it made in the afternoon and packaged. So we decided we're going to do a fermentation, and that was a journey that started in 19. And just as COVID happened, we had got our approvals to make our product. So it's the product itself really is kind of classified as a made wine. So I think we were the only kind of brewery in Ireland that was registered as well as a made winery. So product itself goes through a fermentation, and then we're adding like a natural fruit flavorings. But we're kind of, the market is the can itself in the 250 cans. Their calorie content is 84 calories. They're gluten-free, vegan friendly, and that kind of very refreshing kind of alcoholic drink that you could almost as a kind of the reward thing for you have your beer. But the seltzer category really is something that we see is developing to kind of a more mindful drinker. And and we're doing it in different flavors. We're doing with a coconut and raspberry and passion fruit and peach, and we have a yuzu flavor and a grapefruit and pineapple.
And how long does it take to ferment, Bernard?
It ferments in really around about a week of fermentation, and then it's a process of it settling and the filtration and the processing. So not as long to make as our beers. I mean, the craft beers we're aging for maybe 4 weeks, but the seltzers still go through that kind of process, and we make them from start to finish. We're really in around about 2.5 to 3 weeks from manufacture.
And are you quite unique in that you are fermenting it? Are there any other companies?
Yeah, I don't think anyone really is in the main market leaders that are in the category. People have entered the category. I think 99% of them are adding, are either using a wine base or using a spirit base. So we don't see it. Yeah. So
and it's bound to give it a more complex flavor as well if you're actually fermenting fruit.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're fermenting anything, I mean, even fermenting the sugar side of things, we're finding that we're not having to adjust the product characteristics like its pH. We're not having to add any preservatives, which everyone else is having to do. Anybody who's making spirit and water has to stabilize it and use some. And we're finding that you ferment something, you go through more pain to do it, but nature takes over. And it finds that natural sweet spot in its pH.
Yeah, I think when you do something like that, when you do a fermentation, it does give you that flavor that's completely different, isn't it? And it's different every time, nearly, isn't it? Because
there's body to
it. It's going to be different.
Yeah, there's body to it. And that's the thing. It's that kind of mouthfeel, and in any category that starts to get crowded, you really want to have, sticking your head up above the parapet there to try and get noticed and to get people to like your product. And so it is a bit more work to do it, but we think that hopefully the end goal. We only launched last month with our hard seltzer, so yeah, we're only on the market.
Well, good luck with it. The branding looks great. I like your Fizz Craft. I like that.
Yeah, the Art of Fizz Craft.
The Art of Fizz Craft. It looks good. You've got your own white water there, the classic one, but no. It looks great. I'll try that later, Bernard.
Okay, good.
I'll toast your good health with that. Will I have a hot cross bun? I think the two would work well together.
It work beautifully together. Is it made for drinking on its own, Bernard, or is it something that could be an accompaniment? Or
yeah, the category will develop. We find that people are doing. We're saying to people to drink it from the can, but because it keeps the kind of the fizz in it. But we find that also people that category has already gone to people adding it to wine or to spirits as well. Yeah, it's that kind of versatility side, but it is it's something a bit unique, and it's a category which we're finding is growing. And
I think the cans are very popular. Have become very popular.
Yeah, and we specifically went that 250 ml size, that kind of smaller portion size.
Yeah. Well, it's a perfect sort of picnic size, isn't it, too? It's like something you could...
Yeah, and they chill very quickly. And the 250 ml, I mean, straight into the freezer, and it's gone very, very quickly, so at that kind of sipping temperature.
Fantastic. Bernard, thank you.
Bernard,
I look forward to seeing what you come up with next.
To keep at
something. I don't know where you come up with the ideas. Honestly, every time you're like a whirlwind.
Yeah, a couple of beers in the evening.
Good, beautiful. Jen, you wanted to say something?
I was just going to say, I haven't tried it before. I've known Bernard for probably, I don't know, nearly 20 years. Just opened one, put it in the fridge about half an hour ago, just opened it, and it's really lovely. Very nice, straight out of the can. So, yeah, a good one for me. Thank you, Bernard.
Thanks, Jen.
Good stuff. Have another one. You can believe in this in the singing. Okay, come on. Good stuff. That's good. Paula, what have you done?
That's me done. Yeah, I think that's us all. I think we've covered it. And just a tea towel. Lovely. Yeah, that's the only thing. The Flax Fox tea towel. I have a lovely print in the house here of St George's Market. So it's these iconic designs of Northern Ireland. So you can always think of Northern Ireland when you wash the dishes or dry your dishes.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Paula. That was great.
Thank you, Mervyn. Thank you.
We say this on every occasion. We all wish we were in Paula's house. And I think there's been a quick request that you deliver the boxes next time, Paula.
Right, okay. And cook in everybody's house. Yeah, that's fine. So.
I think there's a lot of people feeding back there. So feel free to open your mics. There's no real questions in the chat box. It's just lots of compliments and lots of comments. But if you have any questions now, please feel free, open your mics. And any of the suppliers you want to question, please go ahead. We'll give you a second. I think Paula may have answered all your questions already.
How are we doing? All right?
There you go. How you doing?
No, it was good. It was more just of a question on, a statement. Savoury and sweet is so underrated. I tell you, I think savoury and sweet is a really great food combination, and people always keep the two things separated.
Yeah.
Yet, together, it's like salami on a hot cross bun. I mean, who would have thought? But I bet that turns out lovely.
Yeah.
I think so, and I think it's one thing that's come through. There's been two words which have been used again and again over the course of this afternoon. That's consistency and versatility. And I think what we've seen there, you can add your own touch to a lot of these. Some of these are mixes, some of these are products with, you would think, specific uses. But a lot of the comments in the boxes have said, "No, I put the bacon on my hot cross bun, or I put the salami on."
Yeah,
fantastic. And it's great to see these. The quality, I think, the quality of these really stands out. And as consistency, so as buyers, you can have confidence that you're buying into something which is going to be the same day in and day out. Really, really important to know to you guys. So do we have any questions? I know it's Friday afternoon, you're all keen to get away and try your hampers, but if we have no further questions, I think we're done. Well, listen, thank you very much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure to have you with us. I hope you enjoy your hampers. If you haven't tried them yet, do enjoy the products and let us know how they do. As Jen says, we will be circulating the recipes that Paula was using. So you'll be getting those, and do let us know how you get on with those. And it's a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Huge thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
And enjoy the rest of the day and your weekend. Thanks, guys.